One should not be producing actions, bodily, vocal or mental. One should not be seeking rebirth in the threefold world. By reflecting in this way, the yogin enters into animittavimoksamukha. 2. Sameness of the three concentrations. These three gates of liberation in the Mahayana are one and the same thing. It is as a result of the way they are practiced that we speak of three things. Considering the emptiness of dharmas is called sunyata. When there is no place to grasp characteristics in this emptiness, this sunyata changes its name and is called animitta. When there is no place in the presence of this signlessness to experience desire for or rebirth in the threefold world, this animitta changes its name and is called apranihita. It is like a city with three gates. A single person cannot simultaneously enter by the three gates. If he enters, it is by going through one single gate. Here the true nature of dharmas is the city of nirvana. This city has three gates, sunyata, animitta and apranihita. If a person enters the sunyata gate, does not hypostatize this sunyata and no longer grasps at characteristics, this person penetrates directly into the city of nirvana and, with his end attained, has no need of the other gates. But if he enters the sunyata gate, grasps at its characteristic and hypostatizes sunyata, the sunyata is not a gate for this person. The path of entry is closed to him. Answer: in order to avoid the characteristic of sunyata, he makes use of the animitta gate. If his mind becomes attached to the characteristics of animitta and he gives himself up to futile chatter, then he stops grasping the characteristics of animitta and goes through the apranihita gate. 3. Single object of the three concentrations. In the system of the abhidharma, the emptiness gate of liberation has as its object the truth of suffering and comprises the 5 skandhas. The signlessness gate of liberation has as its object a single dharma, the pratisam kaya nirodha or disjunction from impure dharmas obtained by understanding the truths. The wishlessness gate of liberation has as its object 3 truths: a part of the truth of suffering, the truth of the origin of suffering and the truth of the cessation of suffering. It comprises 5 aggregates. In the Mahayana, these 3 gates of liberation pertain to the true nature of dharmas. By means of these 3 gates of liberation, the ascetic sees that samsara and nirvana are the same. Why? Because nirvana is empty, without characteristics, not worthy of being taken into consideration, and samsara likewise. Question: if the sutra says that nirvana has only one gate, why is it a matter of 3 gates here? Answer: I have already said above that, although the Dharma is single, its meaning is threefold. Furthermore, beings to be converted are of 3 kinds. Those who abound in craving, those who abound in wrong views, and those in whom craving and wrong views are equal. To those who abound in wrong views, the animittavimoksamukha is preached. In this way they will see that all dharmas are impermanent, suffering, the result of causes and conditions. Have no intrinsic nature. Not having intrinsic nature, they are empty. By means of this emptiness, wrong views are stopped. To those who abound in craving, the animittavimoksamukha is preached. In this way they will see that all dharmas are impermanent, suffering, the result of causes and conditions. Having seen in this way, they will be mentally detached from thirst and will enter into the path. To those in whom craving and wrong views are balanced, the animittavimoksamukha is preached. Learning that the characteristics of male and female do not exist, they will cut through craving. Learning that the characteristics of sameness and difference do not exist, they will cut through wrong views. Sometimes the Buddha preaches 2 gates of liberation at the same time, sometimes he preaches 3 at the same time. Since the bodhisattvas must always exert themselves in knowing all the paths, he preaches the three gates to them. We could say yet other things, but the question of the three gates of liberation is treated here in summary. Third section, the four trances. I. The four trances according to the Abhidharma. The four dhyanas are of two types. I. Suddhaka, pure in the mundane order of purity. E. Anasrava, pure in the supramundane order of purity. What is called dhyana suddhaka? The five impure but good aggregates. What is called dhyana anasrava? The five pure aggregates. The bodily and vocal actions contained in the four dhyanas are material dharmas. The rest are non-material. All of them are invisible, without resistance, sometimes sasrava, sometimes anasrava. Those that are sasrava are the five kasala sasrava skandhas. Those that are anasrava are the five anasrava skandhas. The sasrava belong to the desire realm. The anasrava do not belong to any realm. The dhyanas include bodily actions, vocal actions and formations dissociated from the mind that are neither mind nor mental events, nor associated with the mind. The dhyanas also contain the feeling aggregate, the discrimination aggregate and the volition aggregate associated with it. The mental events also are associated with the mind. The dhyanas include mind, and consciousness. This is only mind. In the dhyanas, there are 1. Things accompanying the mind and non-associated with feeling. 2. Things associated with feeling and not accompanying mind. 3. Things accompanying mind and associated with feeling. 4. Things not accompanying mind and non-associated with feeling. There are things accompanying mind and non-associated with feeling. Actually, the four dhyanas contain a. Bodily actions and vocal actions. b. Formations dissociated from the mind but accompanying mind. c. Feelings. There are things associated with feeling and not accompanying mind. As a result, the four dhyanas contain mind and consciousness. There are things accompanying mind and associated with feeling. Actually, the four dhyanas contain a. The aggregate of discrimination. b. The associated aggregate of volition. There are things not accompanying the mind and non-associated with feeling. Actually, with the exception of the formations dissociated from the mind but accompanying the mind. Formations contained in the four dhyanas, these are all the other formations dissociated from the mind and associated with the discrimination aggregate. Of the four dhyanas, the last three are not endowed with investigation and are not associated with analysis. In the first dhyana, there are